never doubt that you are good enough. Oh, you are amazing. My name is Selassie and welcome to the Chat with Selassie. Joining me today is Shanessa. She is a mother, a spoken word artist, an acting instructor, and a coach. She's an actress. She is a writer. You know, she's all in one. So welcome, Shanessa.
Hey, thank
girl.
you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for saying yes, because I know that your Saturdays are so busy from, you know, acting class to attending to your children, and then now you're here. So thank you for your time.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
And you look pretty. You look beautiful. The colors. What do you think, Z?
It's wonderful.
Good. That's my camera person. No, you look very good.
Thank you, doll.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are you?
Oh, so that is a loaded question these days. You know, I love the quote that you said, because I think, you know, I needed to hear that, and single parents need to hear that we are amazing, but more than not, we're overwhelmed, and that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling overwhelmed these days, but I feel blessed, even in the undercurrent and overcurrent of being overwhelmed. So, you know, that's pretty much like sums it up, you know. Yeah.
One thing that I learned from you all the time is perspective, right? You always have a different perspective on things that most of the time is like a positive one. And I'll give examples later as we talk, but you did bring me back. I did not tell our audience what we are going to be chatting about. So it is great that, you know, you had a way of, you know, bringing it back.
Yeah,
I was saying, you know, what you said about in the beginning about we do feel overwhelmed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So to you, today we are going to be chatting about being a single parent and pursuing your dreams or your career and going at it with your all. So how do you do it? Because I have seen you do it. How do you give acting and writing your all, and you are still a mother and you are present? Now, before you answer that question, Shonda Rhimes said something that I carry with me. She said, while I am being good at writing, something is lacking.
Yes.
It means that maybe I cannot be at my child
Yes.
something, or I cannot do this with my child. So I have to sacrifice something. Is that true?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth in that. Yes, there's a lot of truth in that, because I often think like when I was a new mother, and it was important for me to be with my children, to not necessarily work, but to be with them through those early years. So I was sacrificing the financial aspect of it, even though I was still able to maintain the household. There was still a struggle, because I was sacrificing that part so that I can spend this part with them, right? And my art was being held at bay as well, because I couldn't go out and, you know, work in different, you know, in different cities. And still to this day, I have to be very selective about where I go, but I couldn't, you know, just get up and go, you know. And when they were smaller, I have two children. When they were smaller, you know, they couldn't take care of themselves, you know, so you have to align somebody to care for them when you're away, and then you feel guilty because you're away. And I didn't want to do that. So I sacrificed a lot of my creativity to raise them, you know. But the thing about that is, when you are a natural creative, and that is what you're supposed to do, you come full circle with it. So now they're older and they're, you know, much more independent. then now I can begin to, you know, to get out there and do my work, you know, do my creative work and do the work that brings in the finances to take care of the household, because now they're more independent. So yeah, really what's being sacrificed for me now is the cleanliness of my house, because it's a mess. It's a hot mess. So that's what's being sacrificed, right? So yes, something is always, that is a perfect thing that she said. Something is always being sacrificed.
I'll say this. I've seen you bring your son where we had like auditions and stuff like that. Either me helping you record an audition or you helping me record an audition. But you have to bring your son with you. Have you had to like take them, because you have booked? Are we allowed to talk about some of the things?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
I remember there's this very popular show that was it last year you were on. They called you back 2 times.
Yeah. Oh, The Resident. Yes,
The
on
Resident.
Fox.
Yeah.
Yes, The Resident.
So this is a superstar. Okay, superstar. So we have the privilege of having her here. Yeah. So like when you book things like that, are you able to take them with you sometimes?
No, not when you're booked on. I have not gotten to that point yet where when I'm booked on big budget sets like that I can bring them. Now, if I'm booked on something independent or something, you know, like we have plenty of colleagues in the industry that, you know, are filmmakers, you know, and I'll check in and see if it's okay then, you know, and then more times than not, they're like, yeah, sure, you know, bring your, you know, because a lot of the times I want my children to see how this thing works, as opposed to they don't have anybody to babysit or anything like that. No, I just want them to see it just in case that this is something that they think that they might want to do, or, you know, if they could help their mama out, you know. But the more big budget projects, no, I don't bring them with me. Yeah. But I have seen some of the more known stars that I've worked with. Yeah, they bring they you know, not all the time, but I've seen their children on sets.
Okay.
Yeah.
The closest thing I've had to being a single mother is having this little one, Ari, and I think for me that was what sparked something in me to have this conversation with a single mother, and I chose you because I have seen you do it. I have seen you navigate, and I had never sat down to wonder how you do it until I got him. Because when I got him, as to whether I'm sick or not, rain or shine, it's like I have to think about him no matter what. No matter how much my world is turning up, you know, around or apart, I have to think about him as well. Truthfully, I think I kind of have an idea of what kind of mother I'm going to be. I may be wrong, but I think so. There are times that I love him no matter what, but there are times that I do not like him.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I was gonna ask, do you ever like you love your children, but do you ever not like them?
Absolutely. 100%. And I tell them that. I love you. I don't like you right now. Go away. Listen, absolutely. And any parent that will tell you that, you know, 'cause I do like my children. I like my children. I like the type of people that they are. But they can get on your last good nerve. My son tap dances on a nerve that I didn't even know I had. Repeatedly, consistently. On purpose, right? So absolutely, yes. You know, I love them immensely, and I'm grateful that I was chosen to be their mom, and I'm grateful that that I'm a pretty good mom, you know, in the sense that, you know, that they're not bad children, that they don't cause me any like stress. They cause me stress, but it's not like you know, there's some parents out here that are really like going through it with their children. And I don't have that issue, but I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son, and them children, that 16-year-old is like looking in a mirror, and it's not the part that I like, right? It's like, you are the reflection that I did not agree to, right? So no, several times, and I will let them know that very clearly, like, yeah, no, we know and you're not going to like me, you're going to love me forever, but there's going to be time, and I'm going to make sure you don't like me, because in this moment, because there might be a moment where you need to not like me, but you need to hear me and you need to respect me. And it's that I'm not here for you to like. And I tell my children that all the time, I'm not your friend. I'm not. I'm going to respect you, but I'm not your friend. There's no muddy waters there that you think that you can approach me the way that you would approach your friends. You talk to me the way that you talk to your friends. No, we don't have that, but we do have a bond that you can talk to me about anything and come to me about anything. Right. And I think, because I am very honest with them in the moments that I don't like them, they can be very honest with me and I'm not offended. Hey, I get it. We're not liking each other right now.
I've heard people say that I am not your friend. I am your parent.
Yes.
I'm a parent, but I'm not your friend and I don't want to be that. And initially I wasn't really understanding that. I'm like, well, I want to be a parent to my child and I want to be a friend to my child when they need me to be, because I was thinking that being a friend means they can tell me everything. But I just heard you say something that I think that was what I meant, but I didn't have the wording for. I think what I meant was I want to have the bond that allows them to tell me everything they want to tell me. Yes. But not necessarily be a friend that it can behave just anyhow.
Right. Yeah. Because, they need the structure. Children.
The boundaries.
They need the boundaries, right? Yeah. They function really well off of knowing boundaries. Yeah. And they function off of routine, and they function really well off of structure. And when I'm with my friends, we don't have those. I have boundaries with my friends, but we don't really have a structure. I'm not, what I'm saying? I'm not guiding. I might give suggestions, but I'm not guiding their life. This little person, I'm guiding their life. So I can't be in the friend zone when they need to hear me. Like, if they're in danger, we can't be playing, so then that's when the parent comes in. Now we can play, we can play dolls, we can play with toys. We have those moments and that's playtime. But when it comes time to, to lay down structure, you have to be able to hear me, period. And that doesn't come with, no, that comes with, hey, let's go. And that's just, it's just that simple. Because, eventually you do become friends. Eventually you do become friends. My mother raised me, both of my parents, they raised us like that. But my mom, was she used to say that to me all the time, I'm not your friend. You know what I'm saying? But I could tell her anything, and I felt very comfortable with telling my mother anything. Like I could tell my mother when, I decided to have sex, I could tell my mother if whoever I liked, I could tell my mother if I felt like I was in trouble. I could tell her anything because she had created this environment and this rapport to where I knew that she was the disciplinarian, and I knew that she wasn't to be played with, but I also knew that she loved me enough to give it to me real. So as I grew into womanhood, well, we're talking real because I've always been able to talk to her real. Yeah. And we're friends. And we go through our ebbs and flows like friends. And sometimes she forgets that I am a grown woman because I'm still her baby. Yes. But we are friends now, we weren't when I was a child, and we shouldn't have been, because we aren't the same age. We aren't in the same generation. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I've been here a while.
You have been here. You don't look your age. I would not say your age on camera, but you do not look your age. And even telling someone that you have a 16-year-old and a 12-year-old, someone would think that, girl, how old were you when you had a child?
Right.
But you, but you are way, like you don't look your age at all, at all.
Thank you, love. Thank you.
Have you ever felt like if they were not here, you would have gotten far in your career? And I want you to be honest with this answer, because sometimes I think by default, yes, children are blessings.
Yes,
children
absolutely.
are a blessing. It's a blessing that I think that, you know, a lot of women would, or a lot of people, both men and women, would want to experience, right? But I also believe that, you know, sometimes we think about, you know, if they were here,
Yes.
good, but if they were not here, it could have been that way as well. And by default, people will, when you ask that question, people will tell you the answer that you want to hear, or they'll tell you the answer that seem appropriate.
Yes.
You know, but I want you to tell me your response, not what seem appropriate.
Well, you know, I don't
I know
respond.
you keep it 100%.
Yeah, you know. I'm gonna tell you anyway. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. So my daughter has asked me this question before.
Wow. What made her ask you that?
Because she sees the struggle, and and you know, they oftentimes they help me with auditions or whatnot, and she's like, you know, when they see me on TV and, you know, they're happy, but they're like, do you think you would be further along if you didn't have us?
No.
And to honestly, you know, answer that, I don't know. And why I say I don't know, I moved pretty recklessly with me before I had children. And not saying that I was out here doing like all kind of, you know, damaging, you know, like just wilding out. No, I wasn't wilding. I've never been a wild type person like that. But what I mean is, I would allow things to happen to me that, you know, for whatever reason, I didn't stop. You know what I mean? I just was like, okay, just go with the wind. I kind of go where, you know, where the wind takes me. No kind of plan. You know, I don't like plans. I don't like discipline. So I don't know, because I remember distinctly being in a rehearsal when I was coming out of graduate school, and I would distinctly recall saying to myself, I don't want to do this shit. I don't know if can I cuss. I'm sorry.
Please, just be yourself.
I was like, you know, I was sitting up there and I was like, you know, listening to the director. I was like, I don't want to do this shit. You know, but I had been doing it. So I was like moving into this space like, I don't want, this is not what I want. I don't want to be no actor. I don't want to be da. And I was lost. I was lost. Like, you know, I had been in school and came out of school, and I just felt like I was just all over the place. I was, you know, just like, I'm just like when you spray in the air. I'm just the sprinkles in the air, floating, not really having a goal set. When my children came along, it made me hunker down. It made me focus a little bit more. It made me, you know, even though I was still being distracted, but the things that I was allowing to happen to me, I wasn't for it anymore from having them. Because I'm like, I can't. This is what they cannot see.
Yeah.
You know, I can't be this type of person for them. So I don't know. Maybe I would have gone much further. Maybe I would be like, you know, super. I believe that I definitely could be and still can be. But maybe I would have, or maybe I would have gotten in my way. Because I do that. I self-sabotage, you know? And so who knows, maybe I would have gotten in my way to the point where I'm like, you know, I don't want to do this no more. Gotten with whomever, whatever, and be the same person that I was before I started acting, which was somebody trying to find their way. But my children, having them, it's like I had to find a way. You know, they didn't ask to be here. I brought them here. So my responsibility to them is to find a way, Shanessa.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know.
And I believe that answer.
Yeah.
I believe I don't know. Yes, I do believe that answer, because sometimes people will ask me, if your mother was alive, do you think your life would have been different? Well, I've experienced life with my mother before. At that time, yes, it was, and it was good. Now, but I don't know what it would have been as me now as an adult. I don't know. Yes, so I do believe the answer, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it could have been good, it could have been bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you know, I could have
believe
planned things completely differently or not planned at all, which is my behavior pattern.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't. What I can tell you though is that I thank God that that I did have them, even though it's really hard. It's really, really hard. It's really hard being a parent. It's really, really hard being a parent, but it's extremely, really hard being a single parent. And so even in those moments when I do feel alone, as you said, and I do feel, you know, and I feel overwhelmed, I'm grateful that I have them, because I feel like maybe had I not, some of the discoveries that I've made about myself and these, you know, the evolution that I've made about with Shanessa, I wouldn't have made it because I didn't have them.
You got the opportunity to learn some things about yourself.
Absolutely.
Now that you have them.
Yeah.
I believe that too.
Absolutely.
Because there are certain things that I was raised by a single mother. Yes, my stepdad was in here and there, and then later in life I got to know my biological father before my mom passed away. But I was raised by it was just me and my mother and my brothers. So I saw the way, you know, everything she was doing, but I didn't really understand it.
Yes.
I didn't know to what extent. I didn't know what she was going through. But now that I've become a woman, at first I could only imagine, and then I got a fairy child, and then I was like, oh, this is just a tip of the iceberg that I'm feeling right now. And I can imagine. And she was depressed, and back in Ghana, depression is not a thing. Who are you even going to talk to about depression?
Right.
And so I think she dying, even though I was young, for me, I just could sense some peace. When I saw her laid in state, I just could sense it. There was this smile on her face, you know, and I just feel like, Mom, it's time for you to rest.
Yep. Ooh.
You know, it was a lot. So I have so much respect for single parents, but single mothers are very dear to my heart. I salute mothers.
Yeah, man.
So much.
Yeah.
So just seeing you, Shanessa, and you are not just a mother to your children. You're a mother to many, because I have seen acting class. I have heard people talk about you and your style, the way you approach your students, you know, and I've just heard your students talk about you in very different but similar ways. Shanessa is this, and one word that, you know, we all used to describe you is the nurturing nature. And I think that just comes natural to you.
Yes.
You know, and then sometimes you have us calling you, you know, Shanessa, can you help me with this? I got this audition. Can you break this down? Can you do this? Can you? And then you have your own children to deal with, and then you have yourself to deal with, you know, and I see you winning. So you may be sacrificing stuff, but single mothers do it so well, or single parent, but I have more experience with single mothers than single fathers, so I would say single mothers. So pardon me, the single fathers out there, I applaud you as well, and you know, I appreciate you as well. I'm just more focused on single mothers because they're the ones I can relate to, and they're the ones I've had experience with more. And also, I just think that they should just have their moment. So, you know, we are going to talk about parents in general, but mothers are the focus. So, I'm sorry in advance. But I just have seen the way healthy single mothers do things, and I think it's different. Fathers do a great job, but from my experience, I think that a mother, if a single mother is in love, for a man to prove to the woman that they love them, they have to go through, the love has to go through their children. Love the children and then get to me. That's how it
100%.
works. But the men, if I have a dad, a single father,
Yeah.
and I have a stepmother or a lady coming into the picture, it's not the same thing.
Right.
It's not the same thing. And I've also noticed and experienced that a mother they will do everything and anything to make sure their child is okay. Their child always
Absolutely.
comes first.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's different. I'm not saying that a single father cannot do that, but I've seen it played out differently.
Yeah. Yeah. If they give a damn, because you do have, deadbeat moms like you have deadbeat dads.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have moms who, are incapable of, just because they can biologically bring a child here, they're incapable of, nurturing that child. So there are those. But yeah, if you give a damn, because when you carry a child, or not even if you're not able to carry a child, when you have given your world to loving a child and to loving this being, when you've given all of that, it's like, yeah, this is precious to me. I'm gonna take care of this entity because I gave my world to it. I'm giving my world to this being. So yeah, anything that comes to harm or, come to yours, what you claim as yours. And I think it's, it doesn't go just to the children. It's like yours, what I claim is mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that with my friends too. I'm rather protective, and I will war for my friends. I war for people. When I say I love you, it's not a game. It's not a lie. Like I legit will war for you. And so, because you belong in my orb, and it's just different with the children, you understand that they're helpless.
Yes.
They need protectors. And if I'm a warrior, then I'm a protector of children, period. Whether it's mine or anybody else's, I'm a protector of children. And I'm a warrior. So yes, I'm going to protect them with everything. Everything.
I like
Yeah.
that. Piggyback on what you said, you were like, when the children came, because of them, like Shanessa has to find a way.
Yeah.
Would you say that they became your reason why? For example, like they became like I had to make my dream bigger than myself. So I'm an immigrant. I'm from Ghana. You know that, and I find myself in America, and the acting industry is so like competitive
Yes,
here,
yes.
and as it's like if a black person has to work twice as hard or 3 times as hard as an immigrant, you have
Yes.
to work maybe 4 times as hard.
Yeah.
I told myself that it is important that I make it because I want the immigrants that come, who will come after me, to know that they don't have to always become a nurse or
Yeah.
go to the military or their dreams. They can actually live their dreams as well.
Yeah.
So I made my dreams bigger than me.
Yeah.
Do you think that your children became your reason why?
Yes. They became my reason why, but I'm going to tell you why they became the reason why. My children became the reason why, not because, I love them so much and and I had to give them no, they became my why because I knew that I had to get my shit together. So I can't be a wreck. I can't be a mess, because if I'm a mess, then who is going to take care of them? I can't fall apart. I can't die. You feel me? Because who has them? Who is going to take care of them? I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why they became the why. Because it's like, yeah, they're helping me to push further. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've said this several times, like, yes, this world is so crappy, and I almost, in a weird way. So I celebrate your mother, because what you said about the depression that she felt, and then the peace that you saw as she lie in state, people don't really talk about things like that. And I'm sure she caught peace. I'm sure she had peace. And it's so many times when the pain is so great that you wish you could vibrate right on up out of here. And I've said that several times. If I didn't have my children, I would vibrate right up out of here, because this world is so crappy, and the shit that you have to put up with, and it's a lot. It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, but for your mom, she was like, I can be on the other side and make sure that my babies are good. Probably did more for you on the other side than she could do here. Right? And you know, for me, I have to do it on this side before I go to the next side for them. Because, and that's why they're my why.
For your daughter, is there part of you that feels like you are an example to her, not just as a mother, but like, has it ever occurred to you that living your dream, or your dream manifesting has become more important to you because you want her to also see and think that she can also become whatever the hell she wants to become?
Absolutely. You know, that I want her to know that whatever, you know, she decides that she wants to do, you know, as long as she's not hurting herself or hurting anybody else, and she's good and she can do it. Children do what they see. They don't do what they're told. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's very important for me to show her, you know, this is how you can function. But it's also important for me to show her you can function. You need to function better. You know what I mean? You need to, you know, I'm a bar that's set high for her to see. But if she sees that since I'm the bar, then there's no limit for her. You know, there's nothing she can't do because my mom was the bar, and then I also surround her around women who are the bar. As well, you know. And for my son, it's important for him to see it as well, because just as a being in this world, you know, you want to be able to know that you can do what you need to do or what you want to do. But also, you know, when you decide to be somebody's husband, you know, he's told me that he wants to get married, and, you know, he wants to be, you know, a husband. He wants children. Well, what you're going to have to, you know, you're going to have to support. Yeah. You know, support and raise a family. And yeah, this is the example that you get. So whomever you decide to have children with and lay down with, the bar is set high. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So which means you have to rise too. You can't, you know, and I tell him this all the time. I tell both of my children this all the time. You don't get the luxury of being mediocre.
I like that.
You know, yeah.
I like that.
You don't get the luxury of it. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not how you came here.
Yeah. You wish you had a helper. You wish you had a partner.
Absolutely. This is the first time I'm saying it. I mean, I've said it to my friends, but no, I'm saying it out loud. Yeah, it's a prayer. Because it's, you know, you want a helpmate. I don't think we're supposed to be here by ourselves. You know, like, I don't think you're supposed to exist in this world without somebody's, you know, like people. I operate in love. So all of my kids get all of it, and sometimes it's too much. You know, they get all, you know, all the love that can sometimes be not necessarily detrimental, not that drastic, but certainly it can hinder their growth. You know, because everything that I do is in love, but sometimes that love, it gets muddied between love and respect, you know? And yeah, so I need a balance, you know? So yeah, I definitely would want a partner who adds value, you know, and that's the important thing. Because, you know, you have people that, you know, I had 2 stepfathers growing up. My mom has been married quite a bit, and now this last stepfather is the one, since I've been an adult, is the best one, because the 2 that she had before weren't bringing any value. You know, they weren't adding to her cup. They were taking away. You know, and so I've seen that happen. So yeah, just to say that I have somebody, no, I don't want that. But yeah, to have somebody who adds, who is, you know, who is there to pick up the slack when you feel, you know, as a Black woman, we're always told to be strong.
Preach that.
Right? We're always told we have to be strong. I was watching something last night, and the mother was telling her daughter, you gotta be strong, you gotta be strong. And it's like, why the hell do I have to be strong all the time? Sometimes I am weak.
Yes.
And I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be vilified because I'm weak.
Yes.
You know, I've been strong for so long. When do I get a chance to fall into somebody and be weak?
Yes. Yes.
Because everybody else gets the opportunity. And everybody else gets the chance to be weak, and it be called mental health.
Yes.
It be called, you know, well, she's having a breakdown. You know, she's earned this. She needs this. We don't get that opportunity. So when do I get a chance to be weak and not be the fucking end of the world? And that's what a partner who brings value does. They let you fall into them.
So you want a partner, not a project.
Oh, hallelujah! 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 Yes. No projects, please. Be healed.
Yeah.
Be healed. I've done my work. Be healed. Please. Come whole.
Yeah.
You know, no fragments. Come whole. Have it together. Come whole. I've done my work. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I have things that I need to, you know, get together, but don't we all? Yeah. But in terms of like the bigger picture, please, yes, no projects. I can't. I'm my own damn project. You know what I'm saying? Come with something other than, you know, what you think I need. If I tell you what I need, then, you know, come with that. But yeah, no projects. Please, no projects.
And I like that you brought this up, saying that you are wanting a partner who will add.
Yeah.
You know, yes, it's gonna be a, you know, take and give. You know, he is gonna take something, but he's also gonna give something. He's gonna pour into you as well. I just go back to the dating scene, and I've seen something. The culture nowadays is that people are wanting to be, or people are wanting to have a partner, or people are wanting to be with somebody or someone so bad that they settle for just anyone. As long as it means I'm with someone.
Yes.
As long as it means I'm no longer single.
Yes.
Because you see 2 people in a relationship, or even just being on a dating site or app, and just looking at men, and I never knew how picky I was. So sometimes I never knew how picky I was until I got to the dating scene again. And even some of the things, like, I thought I knew what I wanted. And I do have a fair idea of what I wanted, but I have had to, like, zone in more and actually know what exactly I want and what I do not want. And sometimes, like, when you think of, maybe I'm a single mother and I do need, you know, I would want a partner, or I'm this age, like when I turned 30, I now get people asking me, oh, when are you bringing a man home? Or when are you introducing a man? And for me, it's a boundary for me, is that don't ask me that question. When he comes, you'll see him. But don't ask me when I'm going to get married. I don't get, it's pressurizing, so I don't want that question. Yeah. But nowadays, people are just wanting just anyone and everyone, you know, just anyone at all, as long as it means they are not single anymore. Hence, choosing projects as well, not coming whole again. And I think that for women especially, because we are naturally nurturing, sometimes we going for projects. We like this project
Yeah.
because we like to fix.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know? And then
Yes.
after you fix them,
Yeah.
because when they come and they are not whole, or when they come and they are not healed,
Yes.
it's kind of like a codependent thing going on there, right? So it's not love. Maybe you both would think it's love, but once they are healed and whole, their eyes pop open.
Yeah.
They can see clearly.
Yeah.
And then they can say, oh, actually, this is not the person I want.
Yes. Exactly.
Then they go.
Yeah,
And,
and
then
you've
we
done the
get
work.
mad.
And you've done the work.
You've done the work. Then our heart is broken. I did this for you. I did that for
Yeah.
you. So I really like that you said you want someone who can add value.
Yeah, and will allow me to add value,
Yes.
because you do have you know there are those people who my ex was like that, where I wanted to add what I wanted to add, he didn't want. He wanted me to fit his mold of how he thought things should go. I am you can't control me. I'm not to be controlled. My friend, my guy friend, he calls me, he says I'm a wild woman. But I'm like, I can't be controlled. So anytime that you put me in a situation where I feel like I'm being controlled, well, I act out. And that's it was an immaturity thing. I don't do so much anymore. I just kind of walk away. But then I would act out. But he would want me to fit his idea of what he wanted in a relationship, which didn't allow me to be my full self.
Yeah.
It didn't allow me to be my authentic self. It allowed me, I had to be something for him. I had to love him a certain way if I wanted to love him. Or, you know what I mean? And I couldn't love him how I love, which makes me, which is like one of the most beautiful things about me is how I love.
Yeah.
So, yeah, come healed. Come healed and let me add value to you too. And let me see how I can add value to you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm healed. I'm bringing all of that healing.
Oh my, the conversation, it's so interesting, but truly, due to time, we are going to end part 1 here. And we will continue the same conversation in the next part. So stay tuned, do not go anywhere, and watch part 2, which is the continuation of this very chat. Thank you once again for joining the Chat with Selassie. And I am Selassie, and it was a pleasure. I hope you subscribe if our content resonates with you.